Castle, 29 years of age. The other one that's just landed on the wall over there, actually missed this one, is Henry, and Henry is actually a bald eagle, but most people look at him and think that maybe he's a golden eagle or something like that, but he's just a baby bald eagle. We'll get that white head at about 3 to 5 years of age, and Henry is on his 3rd week of working here at Warwick Castle, so all this is very new to him. And I'd love to tell you that Henry settled in really well, and he's taken to life working at Warwick Castle very seriously. But he did a week here, then he flew off on the Saturday and didn't come back to the following Friday. So he's already had a week off work and had us running around the Warwick countryside trying to find him. But he did actually, to be fair to Henry, he did come back to the castle of his own accord. It was in a show. It was the wrong show, but we were very happy to have him back. Anyway, so Sydney is the one I'm going to talk about quite a bit because this is a really interesting bird. Sydney is actually a wild bird, and it's very rare that we get to work with wild birds. But 29 years ago, Sydney was actually sitting in a nest in Canada, being reared by Ma and Pa in the normal manner, and then something fairly horrendous happened. Essentially, the whole forest caught fire, and if it wasn't for the brave actions of a Canadian ranger climbing up a tree and saving Sydney and another sibling that we have called Samantha, then we wouldn't have them here today. And that, of course, is a fantastic thing to do. But in saving Sydney from, I guess, certain death, something happened to Sydney, and essentially this bird had to be hand-reared, which has left Sydney with some deep psychological issues. Now, from the outset, you can't tell, but Sydney is convinced that he is a human being, and that, of course, means that he couldn't be released into the wild. Now, you can easily train a hand-reared bird to live out in the wild and catch its own food. Falconers have been doing that for hundreds of years, but the reality is that Sydney, if he was released into the wild and was able to support himself by feeding himself, where it always starts to go horribly wrong is when the bird's sexually mature, and that's around 3 to 5 years of age. You're looking for a girlfriend, and in Sydney's case, it wouldn't actually be a bald eagle, it would actually be a Canadian ranger. And of course that doesn't work very well. So that's why hand-reared birds are very rarely released into the wild. Now, that meant that as a bird doing shows here at the castle, Sydney is actually pretty near ideal because he's used to flying around with all of these people about, and it's no problem whatsoever. But well, I guess because he had no prospects of breeding, we were very happy to fly Sydney, and for all of his life he's worked here, and it's been a very successful bird to fly. You'll notice that flying it very low over the tops of people's heads, as opposed to Henry flying fairly high up. Now that means it's a great bird for doing shows, and the first 18 years of Sydney's life never actually touched the ground. He actually used to work 364 days of the year, and that was in the olden days, but as we're all getting a little bit older, and we also now breed quite a lot of baby eagles that need training up at our base up in North Yorkshire, then Sydney was given some time off. He didn't need any extra flying, and we put it in an aviary with a couple of white-tailed sea eagles, which are a similar sized bird. As long as there's plenty of food around, they don't tend to squabble. But he was also in with another bald eagle, Archie, that you may have seen in the first show, and we noticed something pretty weird going on. Sydney and Archie were sitting side by side. And boy eagles are a bit like peacocks. They sit around an awful lot with their chest puffed up and talk about girls and how great they were in the show and things like that. Then it started getting even more weird. Sydney and Archie started building a nest. We were really scratching our heads at this point. And then after 18 years of boy activities, boy weekends out, and boy chats, Sydney surprised everybody by laying an egg. We were totally convinced that Sydney was a boy all of those years, and that's because it was a small eagle. Now, I may have mentioned in the first show, especially if you saw the stellar sea eagles together, the females are much larger by about a third, but what we have here is just a very small female. And